What's up? UFC 318 just wrapped up, and that was a good main event. I'm not gonna lie, the whole time I was on my toes, I was at the edge of my seat, I was on my freaking couch, just gripping my hands. Like I said in my prediction, I thought Max Holloway would win. I thought he would win by late round four, late round five TKO, but he ended up winning by decision. That was, to be honest, a very close fight. It was closer than I expected, but I did predict that in the second round, Max Holloway would get dropped. I think I did, right? I'm not too sure, but I did predict that he might have gotten dropped. But Max Holloway is different at 155. He looks a lot slicker. He looks healthier. He looks stronger. He looked way bigger than Dustin in the cage. I mean, Max Holloway's head is freaking huge. His legs are freaking thick and I don't even know how he was making 145. He was probably killing himself to make 145. But yeah, Max Holloway is different at 145. Dustin Poirier, it's bittersweet. He's just retired. I've been watching him for a few years. It's sad that he retired. But yeah, honestly, it's sad that he didn't get the W. But yeah, either way, I was rooting for Max. But it's still sad he didn't get the W in his hometown. But to be honest, that if I could choose a way to go out, I would choose it that way. They went through a war. Dustin Poirier had some good moments. The first round, Max Holloway looked extremely good. He was fast. He was catching Dustin with almost everything he threw. Max Holloway's has evolved a lot, especially from their last fight. His kicking game is, like I said, it's tremendous now. He has a really good low kicks, inside low kicks. The spinning back kicks hit Dustin a few times. I think that might have stunned him a little bit, especially took out his air. I also think that Max Holloway, his kicks to the body are really well. His high kicks. I think overall, what he's done better to improve in this fight to win against Dustin in their trilogy is to mix up the fight. I think in their second fight, Max Holloway was too. He played into Dustin's boxing game too much, and I think that lost him the fight. Even in this fight, we saw that when he played into Dustin's fight in like the third round and possibly the second round, he was boxing with Dustin. That's what made him get dropped. That's what caused him to get backed up against the fence. And the scorecards were 49-46, two scorecards, and the other scorecard was a 49-48. Personally, I think it was a 49-48. I think Dustin definitely won the second round. I think based on damage and the drop. I think the third round is pretty debatable, but I think Dustin might have won. Um, but yeah, it was a really good fight. Tomorrow I'm gonna make my fights to make next. To be honest, I think that Dustin's retired. Max is kind of in an awkward position in the position because he won, but who is he supposed to fight next? I mean, we could fight Charles sometime next year, but it's going to take some time off. And honestly, I do think Max Holloway needs time off. I think he did get dropped a few times in this fight. Or not, he got dropped like twice. But he did look stunned. But, he's different at 155. I think Max should take, at minimum, 8 months off. He should fight sometime next year in February, March. I think he should fight probably Charles Oliveira for the BMF. And whoever wins that, or if Max wins that, I think he should be in a title eliminator or possibly like a backup for the title or even a title if it's really necessary. I think that Charles and Max is a good matchup. I think also Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker that'd be a nice fight too. Possibly if I don't know if it's just me. I know Rafael Fiziev has to climb the rankings again, but I would love to see that fight. That would be a cool fight. But yeah, moving on to the co-main event. To be honest, I thought Paulo Costa was going to lose in his last two fights. He didn't look good at all. I mean, he had some success against Whitaker, but in the Sean Strickland fight, he was getting backed up the whole time. And I thought Paulo Costa, he's on the tail end of his career. I thought he was gonna lose, but he looked really good tonight. He like vintage Paulo Costa, like pre-COVID Paulo Costa, and I think he probably noticed that he needs to start taking his career a little more seriously. Paulo Costa was coming off a two-fight losing streak, and before that, I think he had lost twice as well to Marvin Vettori and Israel Adesanya. But Paulo Costa looked really good in this fight. As soon as the fight started, Paulo Costa started throwing leg kicks. He started throwing body kicks. He started throwing really aggressively. You could see in his shots that he was throwing everything into his shots. And I think that honestly stunted Roman Kopilov's kicking game. He's a really good kicker, but yeah, I think it also killed his confidence when Paulo Costa dropped him. He dropped him about twice in this fight. I think the first one he dropped him, and the other two times he rocked him. So yeah, Paulo Costa looked really good tonight. who should he fight? Who should he fight next? I think Paulo Costa should fight Brendan Allen. They're both coming off two losses, and they just got a win. I think Paulo Costa versus Brendan Allen would be a good fight, and they're near each other in the rankings. Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Now this fight, it kind of got me mad. Kevin Holland, I think Kevin Holland's really good. Sometimes he looks phenomenal, and sometimes he looks just like some unranked bum. I think what Kevin Holland did good in this fight was the stand-up game. I think his defense, he needs to work on that a little bit. He's been getting dropped his past few fights, so I think his chin is slowly withering away. I think another problem he had was throwing the knees up the middle. They weren't really doing anything. They were just tiring himself out. It was just tiring himself out. Daniel Rodriguez, he looked good. I think he should fight someone on rank next, to defend his ranking. And then if he wins that, I think he should, continue to fight up the rankings. I think Kevin Holland, 13. I think he's going to move down to 14 or possibly 15. Daniel Rodriguez will probably take his place at 14 or 13. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good day.